Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making news this morning, a monster winter storm dumping snow and ice on parts of the Northeast.
Here at home, a much milder situation for the second day of the new month. We're standing by for Mike's forecast. Good morning to you. It is Tuesday, February 2nd.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, mild, but still a little chilly.
It is, and it looks like we had some clouds move in the overnight hours. Here's Mike with more.
Yeah, just a couple of them. We'll have plenty of sunshine again today. It's going to be another fantastic one. Big warm up. We'll gain 25, 30 degrees throughout the course of the day. And then get ready because we're going to have a little taste of spring in the next few days, or even more of a taste of spring in the next few days. But we're not done with winter temperatures yet. Beautiful view out there looking northwest from our live cam over at 410. And temperatures, this is basically normal right now, 43 degrees. We don't really have any wind to speak of. That's what kept temperatures up yesterday. The wind picked up in the morning. And really, it's not a thick cloud cover, so I don't think it's going to act like too much of a blanket. So therefore, I think we drop down a few more degrees in the next couple of hours, down near freezing in portions of the hill country. And Mountain Cedar did drop down to moderate levels yesterday. Mold is on the low side, and throughout the morning, yeah, I think we dropped down a few more degrees, right on upper 30s here in town, close to freezing in parts of the hill country, mostly clear skies, and then later on this afternoon, 67. So we will be just a couple of degrees above normal. Plenty of sunshine out there, and then add to that tomorrow, add to it again on Thursday. Then we get the first in a couple of fronts moving on through here. What's that mean for the weekend? Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King. You like that dramatic pause going in there?
Yes.
Samuel? Thank you.
This is traffic. And there's not much going on right now, just some construction in the area, including at 410 East, 151 East at 410, and that should be wrapping up within the next 30 minutes or an hour or so there. They're doing some work all week overnight, so if you're in that area, watch out for that. Also, had a bit of a slowdown here at 410 East at 35, but that seems to have been clearing, but we still have a little bit of delay there at 410 and I-10, so that's also something to keep in mind this morning. And Bandera Road, things getting a little bit busy up there. 12 minutes now between 410 and 1604, and then 10 minutes heading southbound on Bandera Road. And here's a look at 1604 in Bandera. Light on that end. Most of the traffic is down toward the other end at 410, guys. Back to you.
Thank you, Samuel. Taking a look at the latest coronavirus numbers, local health officials say there are some good signs. Our positivity rate has dropped to 11.4%. City officials have said the goal is to get that down to 5% or lower. A backlog in state lab reports is leading to a bit of an increase in our 7-day average, which is 1,447 cases every 24 hours. The deaths also continue to rise, with 9 new deaths reported, which includes a member of the San Antonio Police Department. In our hospitals, 1,171 COVID-19 positive patients are hospitalized, 399 are in the intensive care unit, and 244 are on ventilators.
That massive storm pounding the northeast U.S. Some areas of New Jersey, New York, and New England could see another 3 inches of snow before it's all said and done later today. Some
states are declaring a disaster. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the details.
This morning, a state of emergency across much of the Northeast as a slow-moving monster storm buries the region. Some areas receiving up to 3 feet of snow. In New Jersey, cement trucks have been outfitted with plows to help keep up with snow removal.
Do not go out. And if you're out right now and you don't need to be out, safely find your way home, lock the door, sit on the couch, and stay home until further notice.
Drivers also finding streets submerged in Queens, New York.
It's not over. We got a long way to go. Stay off the streets.
In Connecticut, a dramatic rescue after police say a driver doing donuts lost control of his truck, sliding into the water. The 2 people inside pulled to safety. At the airports in the region, more than 1,600 flights canceled. ABC's Gio Benitez earlier at JFK Airport.
We are feeling some very strong wind gusts here at JFK Airport, and you can just see that runway packed with snow. Nearly every flight canceled today here in the New York area, more canceled tomorrow, and that also may affect cargo flights carrying vaccines.
In the meantime, other people having fun in the winter wonderland. Those famous rocky steps at the Art Museum in Philadelphia turned into a sledding hill. This snow-covered dog needing some warmth, but that well-known naked cowboy in Times Square not missing a beat. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
President Joe Biden says he is unwilling to settle on an insufficient coronavirus aid package after Republicans pitched their slimmed down $618 billion proposal. That's a fraction of the $1.9 trillion that Biden was seeking. Despite the Republican group's appeal for bipartisanship, the president has made it clear he will not delay aid in hopes of winning GOP support, and Democrats in Congress are laying the groundwork for approving Biden's plan with or without Republican votes. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 vaccine rollout remains an issue as less than 8% of the U.S. population has been vaccinated.
Newly elected Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene facing growing criticism even from within the Republican Party. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell made a scathing rebuke last night of the freshman House member. In a brief statement and without directly naming her, McConnell said her views are, quote, cancer for the Republican Party, end quote. McConnell also slammed her embrace of, quote, loony lies and conspiracy theories, end quote. Among other theories, Greene says school shootings in Newtown, Connecticut and Parkland, Florida were hoaxes made up by the media to take away gun rights. Greene has been appointed to serve on the House Education, Labor and Budget Committees. So far, 100 House members have signed on to support a resolution to strip Greene of her committee assignments.
Police investigators are recommending the officer who shot and killed a rioter at the U.S. Capitol should not be charged. A U.S. Capitol police officer shot Ashley Babbitt as a violent mob stormed the Capitol building on January 6th. Members of Congress who were certifying the election at the time were forced to shelter in place. The shooting is still under investigation by Metro Police, U.S. Attorney's Office, and civil rights prosecutors. Justice Department officials could make a final decision about possible charges in the coming days.
Just about 4:37, 45 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, why Super Bowl commercials will look a little different this year.
Another really rough night for the San Antonio Spurs. We have a recap of last night's loss against Memphis.
And taking a look outside with live cam, a chilly start to your day, 45 degrees, but mild compared to the Northeast. We're going to check in with Mike later today.
Spurs were right back at it at the AT&T Center against the Grizzlies last night for a second time. San Antonio started out hot but couldn't keep the pace. DeMar DeRozan had 14 points and LaMarcus Aldridge scored 12 for San Antonio. It wasn't enough. Grizzlies routed the Spurs 133-102 to extend their win streak to 7 games. Memphis had 9 players score in double figures. Meanwhile, Keldon Johnson had 25 points and 11 rebounds for the Spurs. Spurs have now dropped 2 straight after winning a previous 3. Wasn't all bad news, though. Derek White collected his 500th career rebound in his 155th game. He joins Alvin Robertson and Willie Anderson as the only players in franchise history with 1,500 points, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists in their first 155 games with our team. Next up, Spurs complete a 5-game homestand against Minnesota tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7:30 at the AT&T Center.
All right, let's try this again. Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go.
Time now is 4:40 and 45 degrees for now.
First, GameStop now silver. Look at why the price of precious metals is surging.
Also next, a first look at this year's Super Bowl commercials and why they will be a little different. And welcome back. It is 4:43. Super Bowl ads will be a little different this year because of the pandemic. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, going inside the playbook for this year's Super Bowl ads.
Pour salsa, pour queso, get the Lay's and the Cheetos.
This year, brands are shelling out about $5.5 million for 30 seconds of ad space. And stepping into the fold are newer companies that have seen their revenues skyrocket during the pandemic.
We'll see you on the big bowl.
The gigantic bowl.
Totally legal.
Yeah, completely legal.
All right, good teaser. Yeah, I feel good about it.
GMA catching up with advertising expert Gary Vee.
You just get most stunning amount of America paying attention. So for these newbies that are entering the game for the first time, I think it's great strategy.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll premiere a brand new Super Bowl ad from Doritos and reveal exclusive new details about the weekend's highly anticipated halftime show. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
There's now a social media push to buy silver. The hashtag is Silver Squeeze, and the idea is to hurt big banks some believe have repressed the price of silver.
While it's not entirely clear who exactly is behind the strategy, it is clear the price surged to $30 an ounce. And as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports, silver is a hot commodity.
Silver, it's the shiny thing now capturing investors' attention.
Today it's been mostly buyers. A lot of them are looking for silver.
As the price of silver surged, Dewey Bolton says calls to his Alamo Heights coin shop did too. Customers showed up bright and early to snap up silver coins in bars. Oliver Blair heard about the frenzy.
I've been buying silver for a while, so I decided to come back today and get more before the prices go up even more.
When the same online group of small-time investors that targeted GameStop stock last week turned its attention to silver, demand squeezed supplies, making the metal more precious.
My wholesalers pretty much overnight, they said, whereas I used to be able to buy 1,000-ounce quantities, no problem. Now they're telling me it'll be 2 to 3 weeks for delivery.
To give you an idea of how much prices have escalated, just last week, this was worth about $2,600. But today, it's selling for $3,300. As prices rise, the prospect of selling gets more attractive. Maybe that stash of old silverware or grandma's old silver tea set. It could be worth hundreds of dollars.
We're paying more for that stuff than we have at any point in the last 10 years. So for people that it's collecting dust, it's a great time to sell as well.
What's next? Bolton says right now, no telling. But for now, he won't be surprised to see silver keep shining. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And now it's anybody's guess to see what the next stock du jour or precious metal du jour is going to be.
That's true, but in the meantime, that store is pretty busy.
Yes, they are. How about bronze? Why don't we buy bronze or platinum today? Plastics.
Graduate. Plastics.
Google it.
Benjamin Plastics.
Samuel King is here. Good morning.
How about nickel?
We could do that too. How about 9-volt batteries, just because?
That's probably going to be next. Things looking pretty good here on the roads. Just some small delays here or there. We have still some construction here at 1604 and 281. Those ramps, there's some construction work here probably for the next 10 minutes or so. Further down on 281, you see some delays there at San Pedro and at just south of 410 there. So just small delays there, but not too bad. And then we have this construction again at 151 East at 410, and also have some construction on 410 from Ingram and heading up north a little bit. So that's going to be going on for the next 15 minutes or 20 minutes or so. So there's still some things out and about there. And looking at 90 here, 11 minutes between 35 and 1604. And here's a look at TransGuide at 410 at San Pedro. You can see some traffic out there at this early hour, guys.
Thank you, Samuel.
Quiet.
Who was the other day said that it just seems like in the past couple of weeks traffic has picked up a lot more in the mornings, like more and more people maybe.
I think Justin was saying that.
Yeah, Justin was saying that. So because he comes in about 6:30 in the morning.
More people on the road.
Yeah, maybe more and more people are going back into the office or something. So anyway,
or back to school.
Good point.
That's true too.
We got another fantastic day in store. Grab a coat before you head out this morning. We got a lot of clear skies, maybe a couple of clouds out there, and temperatures, well, we got 43 here in town, down right about freezing now in Comfort, just above that. So in your backyard, obviously, it may be below freezing. 34 Bernie Stage and 43 at Stinson. We've got very, very dry air still. We've got light wind, mostly clear skies, which is why I think we drop down even a couple of more degrees in the next few hours. And then the overall flow is going to become more out of the south and to the southeast. Still a really comfortable day today, but the humidity is going to continue to come up overnight then, and so it won't be as chilly tomorrow morning, and then that moisture continues to pump on in here, so a couple of clouds here and there, and that's going to hold temperatures even warmer Thursday morning and afternoon. High temperatures will get progressively warmer as well, so mid-upper 60s today. We're looking at mid-70s tomorrow, and then topping off looks like Thursday at about 80 degrees, but there is drier air off there to the northwest, and that will be coming in here late on Thursday, and that's with the first in a couple of cold fronts, kind of a 1-2 punch, and they're going to be coming right on the heels of each other. Here's what the computer models are looking like, and there's just the downside of the forecast. I mean, we've got a great stretch of weather here, but there is not a drop of rain to be had. Of course, there was that small chance of getting something as the front moved through Thursday into Friday. I don't even think that exists anymore. A few clouds here and there going into tomorrow. Same thing again on Thursday. And that front moves through and it just basically comes through dry. There's nothing really showing up on the satellite picture. A couple of clouds here and there that are sliding on through. And off to the northeast, boy, those folks are still getting dumped on with that huge nor'easter, which is coming up the coast right there. And look at all that snow. And then we've got those cold temperatures on top of that. So yes, winter is nice, but and a little too much of a good thing. Anyway, today we are going to be up to 61 at noon, mostly sunny skies. Again, a good looking day, a couple of clouds here and there, and then a high temperature up to 67, about where we were yesterday, which is just a couple of degrees above normal. And then again, continue to add to that. Not as cool in the morning tomorrow, 73 in the afternoon. 55 starting off on Thursday and 80. It's also going to be breezy. We'll see that cold front move through. Friday is going to be much cooler, just back down to normal. Try to rebound Saturday, and then a more potent front comes through, so we're only looking at upper 50s on Sunday.
Mike, before the newscast, I was talking with the KSAT defenders, and we did some investigating. Apparently, the Groundhog may see his shadow today.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah. Which would mean an early spring, which runs counter to this huge system, right?
No. See a shadow, then that means 6 more weeks of winter.
Okay, maybe I had it backwards.
Yeah, because he sees his shadow goes back down into his...
Okay, won't see his shadow. Won't see his shadow. So maybe an early spring.
And this is what?
From
reliable sources?
The insider.
I can't reveal our sources.
What is it? Unnamed sources?
Yeah, I can't reveal any of that. So just kind of go with it.
We'll find out at 6:30.
Yes, 451, 45 degrees.
And coming up next, Saved by the Bell, co-stars are remembering Dustin Diamond, who passed away from cancer.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 106, Fireball 8. Your daily 4 numbers, 8441, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, we have 2, 20, 24, 29, 32. And your Texas 2-step, 12, 17, 20, 25. Bonus ball, 30.
A Saved by the Bell actor being remembered, plus a new show on Disney Plus will explore the world of Wakanda.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Dustin Diamond was a true comedic genius. So says his Saved by the Bell co-star Mark Paul Gosselaar, the Zach to Diamond's Screech on the High School comedy. Diamond died Monday, just a few weeks after being diagnosed with lung cancer. Tori Spelling played Diamond's girlfriend on the show. She writes on Instagram that her first on-screen kiss partner was kind, smart, and always making people laugh. Dustin Diamond was 44.
Well, I'm a funny guy, I have to sing.
Also word that legendary singer Tony Bennett has been battling Alzheimer's disease for the past 4 years. His family telling AARP magazine Bennett can still sing his full set. In fact, he does it twice a week. But the 94-year-old often doesn't know where he is and can't recognize everyday objects. The Kingdom of Wakanda is officially expanding. Black Panther director Ryan Coogler developing a Wakanda-based series for Disney Plus. This is he and his production company Proximity Media strike an exclusive 5-year deal with Disney. Coogler is also working on the Black Panther sequel, which is scheduled to be out next year. And she'll probably be doing a birthday dance today. Music superstar Shakira is 44.
The censor's handbook right here will change my ways, that's for sure.
While half of the Smothers brothers, Tom Smothers, is 84. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
God, we loved you.
And time now is 4:56 and 45 degrees for now.
Still ahead on GMSA, an update on President Joe Biden's COVID relief plan for Americans and how he hopes to get more people vaccinated.
Plus, Apple giving their iPhones a much needed and useful update during the pandemic. Details ahead in Tech Bites.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And this video just now coming into our newsroom. A fire forces a San Antonio family from their home overnight. We have details just ahead.
A bipartisan meeting in the Oval Office to discuss COVID relief. I'm ABC's Faith Abube in Washington with details of the meeting between GOP lawmakers and President Biden coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, a chilly 45 degrees to start your day. And it is Groundhog Day, so we will be watching closely to see what will happen for the rest of the season, I guess.
Yeah, the furry formal forecast from him coming up in our 6:30 half hour, right around there. Good morning. It is Tuesday, February 2nd.
But let's go ahead and check with someone less furry. Our Mike.
How much more alliteration can you use on that?
5 more times.
What was it? The furry formal forecast?
The furry formal forecast from Phil.
Well done.
But we'll go with a freshly shaved Mike first.
Yes.
Anyway, we're at 45 degrees right now, and dew point still very low, so we still have very dry air. We have no wind really, and just a couple of clouds out there, so we should continue to drop down maybe a few more degrees in the next couple of hours. Then a big warm up throughout the day. We'll make it all the way up into mid and even upper 60s. Gorgeous day. Now, the aquifer in the past 24 hours from yesterday's reading did drop down 0.3 of a foot in the allergens. Least mountain cedar came down. Mold is also on the low side. So temperatures around the area right now. We do have some freezing readings out there in portions of the hill country. And as far as the forecast over the next couple of days, looking ahead today, we have a chilly start. And then, like I said, it's going to be sunny. We have the upper 60s to look forward to later on today, maybe a cloud or two. And then tomorrow and Thursday, midweek portion of it, more sunshine, big warm up. Add another almost 10 degrees to today's high temperature, and then add to that for Thursday's high temperature. So we'll top off right around 80 on Thursday. Then a front's going to be moving through here, and that's going to knock temperatures back down to about normal. Then we get another reinforcing shot of some even colder air coming in here for later on in the weekend. All those details coming up just a couple of minutes. And Traffic Authority, Samuel King. Anything going on, sir?
Things relatively quiet right now for now. A lot of green on the map, so if you're someone who heads out early, now would be a good time to head out. We saw some construction ramping up here at 151 eastbound at 410, but you can see travel times looking fine between 6 and 04 and 99 minutes each way. And taking a look at the wheel of travel times from across the area, 19 minutes on 90 in from Castroville, 25 minutes on 35 from the New Braunfels area, 29 minutes on I-10 from Seguin, 24 minutes from Bernie. And here's a look at I-10 at Frio. Not much traffic there this morning, guys.
New this morning, a dead fire hydrant gave the San Antonio Fire Department some challenges this morning while fighting a fire on the city's south side.
This is happening at a home in the 700 block of West Harlan near I-35, where Sarah Costa is live near that home with a look at the damage. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. And that dead fire hydrant you guys mentioned right behind me, you can see it covered and some of that tape there, but you really can't see much now because the scene has been cleared and it's dark at this point. But let's take a look at what it looked like earlier. The San Antonio Fire Department says they were called out around 1:30 this morning, the 700 block of West Harlan Avenue on the city's south side. When they arrived, the home had a fire on the outside of the house on its left side that looked like it had started underneath the home and spread to the home's attic. The San Antonio Fire Department says they knocked down the fire relatively quickly, even after running into some issues like that dead hydrant. A family of 6 lives at this home, but told firefighters they have a place to stay until the damage has been repaired. Now, at this time, arson has been called out to investigate because they are still trying to determine what caused this fire. Live from the city's south side, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Stephanie.
President Joe Biden and Republican lawmakers emerged from an Oval Office meeting last night with no deal on a new COVID relief package.
However, this morning, talks continue to try to get a bipartisan agreement that will help struggling American families through the pandemic. ABC's Faith Abube is in Washington with the latest.
A show of bipartisanship inside the Oval Office, but the only real agreement out of the nearly 2-hour meeting between President Biden and GOP lawmakers is to keep the conversation going on a COVID relief package.
We talked about differences, and I don't think he would intend to signal any changes on his part, nor would we. And so this was the first step.
Republicans and Democrats still far apart on a compromise after 10 GOP senators proposed a slimmed-down version of Biden's nearly $2 trillion aid package. The Republican plan, $600 billion.
We didn't pull $1.9 trillion out of the sky. What we did was go line by line and figure out how to meet the challenges that the public was facing.
While Biden's proposal calls for $1,400 direct payments to most Americans, Republicans want to limit the checks to $1,000 and send them to only lower-income Americans. But there is some common ground. Both sides calling for $160 billion for vaccines and testing and small businesses. This as health officials warn another coronavirus surge could be on the horizon. 35 states are now battling the more contagious variant. The White House urging them to speed up vaccinations, but some are facing challenges. New data from the CDC found less than 8% of the U.S. population has been vaccinated.
Viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. And if you stop their replication by vaccinating widely, you will not get mutations.
And while talks continue on COVID relief, Democrats are signaling they are willing to move forward alone if they have to. They filed a joint budget resolution yesterday, kicking off a process that could pass Biden's plan without GOP support. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
During Texas Governor Greg Abbott's State of the State address last night, he mentioned a lot of COVID-related issues he plans to work on moving forward. Abbott praised many individuals who have impacted the state during the pandemic, including those who helped with medical centers providing antibody therapeutics. Abbott says that helps heal those infected quicker and helps them out of the hospital. The governor also acknowledged the challenges the pandemic has caused on the state, but says Texas has already administered millions of vaccines.
That number will increase even faster in the coming weeks as additional vaccines are approved. We will continue expanding vaccinations across Texas until every Texan who wants one will be able to get one.
He also mentioned permanently expanding telemedicine and working to assure all Texans have better access to health care. Despite Texas Democrats being unhappy with the governor's leadership regarding the rollout of vaccines, he did say more vaccines are on the way. If you're scheduled to receive your second dose of COVID-19 vaccine at the Alamodome today, tomorrow, or Thursday, your appointment is being rescheduled. Bexar County health officials say a shipment of vaccines from the state has been delayed. Today's appointments are rescheduled on February 16th. Tomorrow's are rescheduled for the 17th and Thursday's the 18th. Metro Health says people should not be worried about the time between doses, saying CDC guidelines say the second dose needs to be scheduled within 6 weeks. If you had an appointment that is being rescheduled, health officials say they've sent you an email or called you with more detailed information.
Concerning statistics when it comes to mental health in our children, one school district and hospital in the area are reporting an increase in suicides in young people. To date, this school year, Northeast ISD officials are reporting that 7 students died by suicide. That is up from 3 total in the previous 2 years. Counselors say there are a lot of factors that play a role, but they say counselors are having a difficult time reaching guardians and parents and getting answers on how to help students. School districts have a lot of resources available to help those students.
I think people are, a little fatigued on COVID and all the negatives that it's impacted, but taking care of your children has got to always be number one, no matter what. And let the schools help you. We have lots and lots of resources to help families.
Baptist Health System has seen an increase of 12% from 2018 to 2020 in the admission of attempted suicide and suicidal cases in children under the age of 18. Those minors get a mental health evaluation and plan is put in place for them. Parents who need help are urged to call their school district or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 for help.
The pandemic continues to impact community events this year. Right now on KSAT.com, we have a list of Fiesta-related events that have either been postponed or canceled. Refunds are being offered for the Fiesta Flambeau Parade and Battle of Flowers Parade. For more on how to request those refunds, just head over to our website at KSAT.com.
And time now is 5:09 and 44 degrees for now.
Still ahead, we'll tell you about an important iPhone update that's very much needed right now during this pandemic.
And it's Groundhog Day. Oh, how cute. We're going to tell you how this quirky holiday got started and why.
And it's Groundhog Day. We'll tell you how this quirky holiday got started and why. See what I'm doing there? 5:09.
Perfect.
Yep. Forecast coming up. We'll check back on traffic with Samuel, too. Welcome back. Groundhog Day, that yearly tradition supposedly determines how much longer winter will last.
But why the groundhog, and how did this quirky tradition begin? Our Sarah Costa explains the history behind Groundhog Day.
When we think of Groundhog Day, we may immediately think of the movie where Bill Murray repeats the same day over and over again, but there is much more history behind the tradition. Groundhog Day actually has its roots in an ancient Christian tradition where clergy would bless and distribute candles needed for winter. According to History.com, the candles represented how long and cold the winter would be. But where did the groundhog come from? Germans expanded on this concept by selecting an animal, then the hedgehog, as a means of predicting weather. Once they came to America, German settlers in Pennsylvania continued the tradition, although they switched from hedgehogs to groundhogs, which were plentiful in the Keystone State. According to History.com, the first recorded Groundhog Day was celebrated in Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. In February, male groundhogs emerge from the burrows to actually look for a mate, not to predict the weather, before going underground again. They come out of hibernation for good in March. Back to you guys.
And now we know. 513, 44 degrees.
And still ahead, more details about an updated iPhone feature that will be very useful when it comes to unlocking your phone during the pandemic.
And Nike's released a hands-free shoe. We'll tell you how it works. Well, Apple's new operating system can unlock phones while wearing a mask. ABC's Mono Kasar Abdi has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new feature unmasked by Apple. The company's newest operating system allows Apple Watch owners to unlock their phones while wearing a mask. But there's a catch. You have to be wearing an Apple Watch for the feature to work. The watch helps provide user authentication. The director of Black Panther is taking fans back to Wakanda. A new Marvel TV series set in the superhero's homeland is coming to Disney+. Disney and the director Ryan Coogler are being tight-lipped about the details. The series is part of a 5-year deal with Coogler. Finally, Nike is out with new hands-free slip-on sneakers. A hinge on the heel lets you slip them on and off without any effort. They're seen as Nike's move into the comfort shoes market, which has been booming during the pandemic. These Nikes will cost you $120. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great Tuesday.
I guess, right? If you're in a hurry.
Are they better looking Crocs?
Exactly. You can slip on Crocs. I mean, I guess maybe if you're a huge Nike fan, though, this is something for you.
I'm all in. Because I think a lot of us, and we're not only looking for comfort, we're just flat out lazy now.
Want someone to do the job for
Shoes
us.
with hinges are a win, are they not, Samuel?
I hate laces, so I guess that's marketed toward me. Things are looking mostly fine on the roads right now if you have to head out, but we do have a bit of a slowdown up here. This is 1604 at I-10 West. You can see 27 miles per hour heading westbound between 1604 and the rim there, so that's something to watch out for. And taking a look at the I-10 travel times, 26 minutes all the way from downtown to Boerne, 24 minutes in town. And once you get inside 1604, looking at the normal travel time, 12, 13 minutes, so that's good. Also, I-35 inside 410 looking good here, 10 minutes both ways between the northeast side and downtown, and then 10 minutes on the southwest side, so things looking good there. And this is 35 at Randolph. Traffic starting to build, but flowing well, guys.
Mike is checking out your footwear.
Don't be alarmed.
Those are slip-ons?
Yes.
I'll be darned, he does hate laces.
Yeah.
You wearing slip-ons today there, Mike?
No.
No, Mike has laces.
Mike has laces.
I have laces on. Now that we've solved that, okay.
No kidding, right?
Next question.
Nike's for everybody.
I guess it makes sense for those that don't untie their shoes and then, do that and try and get into them and they break down the back of the shoe.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Now I know what I'm getting everybody on the morning show for Christmas.
Oh,
Nice.
boy. Hey, what a cool pic. When I saw this, I was like, what is that?
Gorgeous.
Those are the orchids from the orchid show this past weekend at the Botanical Gardens.
Looks like something from an exotic foreign location. I mean, definitely doesn't feel like San Antonio, does it?
No, but I mean, it almost looks like a little face right there or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. All right, beautiful view out there. We've got a couple of clouds that are hanging around this morning, and there is a little bit of moisture aloft in the atmosphere as well. So we may have a few high wispy clouds hanging around here throughout the day, but otherwise we're going to have a lot of sunshine. And as far as as far as clouds over the next few days, notice I didn't even say rain because there's just no rain in the picture. We'll have, again, a couple of clouds, scattered about here and there, some morning clouds tomorrow, more sunshine in the afternoon. Pretty much the same thing on Thursday. And then, did you notice that little green blob that kind of scooted past here, well off to the east? That's the passage of the front going into Friday. It is not going to do anything for us as far as any rain. It will take temperatures that are going to be up about 15 degrees above normal on Thursday, knock us finally back down to normal by Friday. We'll be right around the mid 60s, and then as things try to rebound and go up a little bit on Saturday, we get another shot of colder air coming on in here for Sunday. And Sunday's cold front, it's going to be got a little more punch to it. Very brutally cold wind chills up to the north and to the northeast. I mean, we're looking at teens, some single digits around there. And then, of course, that's on top of all that snow they're getting off there to the northeast. Here's what's going on with the upper level steering winds, the jet stream. And this line right here is basically the dividing line between the really, really cold stuff and what we have. At times a little cooler, times a little bit warmer, but we haven't seen anything just ridiculously arctically cold. Now, so go into Thursday and Friday. We get this little bit of a dip right here. Again, still the heart of this cold air stays way up there to the north, so we just get a little taste of it coming in here by Friday. Like I said, things try to rebound somewhat Saturday, but we get another little shot of some colder air coming in here late Saturday into Sunday. So that'll keep us chillier on Sunday. Then things flatten out going into next week. That's a zonal air pattern. That's just a very tranquil type weather pattern. You don't get any rain out of this, unfortunately. And then we'll also see temperatures that are going to be at or maybe a little bit above normal throughout about the middle part of next week. There's still some long range indications. We get another shot of cold air by about Valentine's weekend, but again, that's still a week and a half away. So kind of a wait and see situation on that one. 61 degrees today at noon, mostly sunny skies. High temperature today up to 67. Again, mostly sunny skies. And then tomorrow we're going to start to warm up to 73. It's not going to be as chilly in the morning. And then same thing on Thursday, 55 starting off. Cold front's going to move on through here after hitting 80. We'll be at 65, breezy on Friday, normal temperature for a high. And then Saturday, good looking day, couple of extra clouds around here. Mild on Saturday, chilly on Sunday.
We like it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, good.
Thank you, Mike. Right now it's 522, 44 degrees.
Lacey.
Yes, laces on Mark as well.
Yes, they are. New shoes.
And still ahead in your morning spotlight, a first look at the official Fear of Rain movie trailer, plus another GameStop movie is now in the works.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis, little things can become your big moment. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not a cream. It's a pill that treats plaque psoriasis differently. With Otezla, 75% clearer skin is achievable. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Beds get sick too. Protection. Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of illness-causing bacteria detergents leave behind. Proven to kill COVID-19.
A likely Oscar nominee picks up another honor, and a look at a tense new thriller.
Plus the latest on Tinseltown's fascination with GameStop. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
When is this party going down?
Palm Springs, sort of, and this month, Leslie Odom Jr. is receiving the Spotlight Award Actor from the Palm Springs International Film Society. He's being honored for his portrayal of legendary singer Sam Cooke in One Night in Miami. The Palm Springs Film Festival is not happening in person this year due to the pandemic, but it's still announcing its slate of honorees.
Do something.
The official trailer is out for Fear of Rain. Madison Eisman, Katherine Heigl, and Harry Connick Jr. star in the thriller about a teenager with schizophrenia who thinks something sinister is happening next door. Fear of Rain debuts in theaters and on digital and VOD February 12th and on Blu-ray and DVD February 16th. MGM isn't the only studio rushing to turn the GameStop saga into a film. Deadline and the Wall Street Journal are reporting Netflix is now developing a movie about the investors on a Reddit message board who boosted the stock of struggling companies like GameStop, causing huge losses for the big hedge funds who'd bet against those companies on the stock market. Seems everyone likes a David and Goliath story. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
527, 44 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, no matter what Punxsutawney Phil has to say today, it's still very much winter in the Northeast. We're going to have the latest on a major snowstorm that's blanketing a dozen states.
Krispy Kreme unveiling their Valentine's Day donuts. That's still to come.
Hi, good morning. It is Tuesday, February 2nd.
It is Groundhog Day, so expect a weather report from actor Bill Murray in just a short bit. But right now, we stick with Mike Osterhage.
That's still one of my, one of those guilty pleasure movies when it comes on.
I like when he steals
good.
the groundhog and he's driving around on the pickup and he tells him not to drive mad.
That was a funny part.
What was it? They said here we're here to celebrate a rat or something like that.
Don't drive mad.
Hey, 45 degrees right now. Grab a coat before you head on out. 2 points at 27. So the air is still very dry and we don't have much of a breeze out there. So I do think we are going to be dropping down a couple of more notches in the next few hours. Go out to the hill country. Got some near freezing readings, Kerrville and Fredericksburg. So obviously in your backyard, it probably is very well maybe below freezing. Rock Springs at 41 right now. And throughout the day, nice big warm up. We will gain anywhere from about, say, 25, 30 degrees on average, 61 at noon, 67 for a high temperature, mostly sunny skies, a couple of clouds hanging around here. And then add to that number tomorrow and then add again on Thursday. We're going to be up to about 80 by Thursday. Then a front's going to come through here, sort of a reality check. How cold is it going to be for the weekend? Get ready on Sunday. It's going to be pretty chilly out there. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, the man who does not like shoelaces. What about like licorice shoelaces? Is that okay?
Licorice? Oh,
yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
Depends. I mean, I do have shoes I wear here with laces. I'll probably wear them tomorrow. I just only have one pair at the moment.
Ah.
So, or to wear to work. I have sneakers and stuff. Anyway, we have a crash here. This is reported. This is Loop 410 at Calabar Road. You can see a little bit of orange there on Calabar, so that's something to watch out for. Fredericksburg Road this morning on the west side, see a little bit of red there. So 15 minutes from Heidmer to Woodlawn, 14 minutes going the other way. So watch out for that. And if you're commuting in that area this morning, taking a look at the wheel of travel times, 26 minutes coming into downtown from 35 from New Braunfels, 29 minutes on I-10 from Seguin, 24 minutes from Bernie, 19 minutes in from Castroville on 90. And here's a look at once you get to 1604, that looks clear and smooth sailing this morning. Over to you.
Thank you, Samuel. A man who stopped into a local convenience store wasn't there for coffee or even cigarettes. Instead, San Antonio police say he took someone's car. Now Crime Stoppers trying to catch up with him. Katrina Weber is live at Public Safety Headquarters with their appeal for help. Now, Katrina, we understand this happened right before Christmas.
That's right. It was about 10 days before Christmas, but police say that this suspect wasn't in a very festive mood. They released some surveillance photos of him, by way of Crime Stoppers. Those photos show the man who appears to have a tattoo above his eyebrow inside the Triple E corner store on New Laredo Highway. Police say he walked into the business the afternoon of December 15th, showed a gun, but didn't ask for cash. They say he demanded the car belonging to a 57-year-old man. Now, the victim handed over his keys, and police say the man in the photos then drove off in it. Now police want to put him in park inside a jail cell. They're asking anyone who may recognize him to call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP or 224-7867. And keep in mind, there could be a reward involved. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. In about an hour, we're going to find out what Puxatawny Phil is predicting about this year's winter.
However, in the meantime, parts of the country are getting pounded with a massive snowstorm. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
The first nor'easter of 2021 is bringing boatloads of snow to states from the mid-Atlantic to the Northeast.
Let me say this unequivocally, this is a big one.
It's a big one indeed. Forecasters say New York City could see up to 2 feet of snow.
It's a little challenging. The gentleman had to hold me because I was like I was lifting off the ground.
Nearly 65 million people in 12 states are under a winter watch or warning this week. A state of emergency was declared ahead of the storm in New Jersey.
You must be out. Please, God, be careful. But if you don't need to be out, do not go out. And if you're out right now and you don't need to be out, safely find your way home, lock the door, sit on the couch, and stay home until further notice.
But some still have to trudge out in the snow to get to work.
And it's crazy out here. Everyone can't stay at home. I wish I could stay at home.
But others are bundling up and making the most of the blustery conditions.
We love it. We're from upstate New York, so this is like normal for us. I feel like we love a snowstorm. We're prepared, although we have snow tires.
Yeah, just getting a nice walk. I work from home, so every once in a while I take these breaks.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Overnight, Pakistan's Supreme Court ordered the Pakistani British man acquitted of the 2002 gruesome beheading of American journalist Daniel Pearl off death row and moved to a so-called government safe house. Ahmed Saeed Omar Sheikh, who had been on death row for 18 years, will be under guard and not allowed to leave, but he will be able to visit his wife and children. The Pakistani government has been scrambling to keep Sheikh in jail since the Supreme Court order last Thursday upheld his acquittal in the death of Pearl, triggering outrage by Pearl's family and the U.S. administration. The United States government has said it would seek Sheikh's extradition if his acquittal is upheld.
The Congressional Budget Office says U.S. jobs will not return to their pre-pandemic levels until 2024. While the broad economy is expected to bounce back by the middle of this year, the job market will still be a long way from recovering. The CBO's numbers could pressure Capitol Hill to speed the passage of the president's relief bill and economic recovery package. April marked the peak of job losses when more than 20 million jobs disappeared and unemployment shot up to nearly 15% in a single month. Moody's Analytics forecasts that President Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus could help speed up the economic recovery.
How long has it been your dream to go to space one day? SpaceX has announced its first commercial mission to space with an all-civilian crew. The SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft will take the multi-day trip to Earth's orbit sometime late in the year. An entrepreneur named Jared Isaacman will be trained by SpaceX to command the mission dubbed Inspiration 4. He's also funding the multi-million-dollar trip for himself and 3 others. 2 seats will be donated to a St. Jude Children's Research Hospital ambassador and a member of the public who enters for a chance to join the trip. The 4th seat reserved for the winner of a contest limited to customers of Isaacman's e-commerce platform called Shift. That's Shift, the number 4, Shop.
And time now, it's 5:37 and 43 degrees for now.
Still to come on GMSA, a closer look at why more Americans are buying vehicles through Costco's car buying program.
Also up next, at least 32 states are reporting cases of the COVID-19 variants. We're going to have the latest on these variants and what you need to know.
And outside with live cam, 43 degrees out at the airport. We're going to check back in with Mike Ostrage and talk about a big warm-up. 5:40 this morning, there are multiple coronavirus variants scientists are keeping an eye on. The Centers for Disease Control Prevention says at least 32 states are reporting cases of these variants.
So what does that mean for you? CNN's Brett Conway has answers to some of the questions you might have right now.
By now, variant is a word you've heard over and over again.
Variants remain a great concern, and we continue to detect them in the United States.
So let's answer a few questions you might have. First, what is it about these variants that has medical experts most worried?
The more infection there is in a community, in a country, the likelihood, almost the certainty that there will be variants. And the virus's goal is to survive. So it will be the strongest variants that will eventually survive.
The variants that have been identified recently seem to spread more easily, and there's concern they could become more dominant in the U.S. by the spring. So what about the vaccine's effectiveness against the new variants?
Even though there is a diminished protection against the variants, there's enough protection to prevent you from getting serious disease, including hospitalization and deaths.
But what if I can't get a vaccine right now?
First, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. Second, please avoid crowds and poorly ventilated areas. Third, now is not the time to travel.
How will all of that make a difference?
There is less virus spreading, and the conditions that produce variants are decreased.
So public health measures and getting people vaccinated could prevent future variants too?
Viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to be up to us to step to the plate.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
542, 43 degrees.
And coming up next, Krispy Kreme showing off what it has in store for customers this Valentine's Day. And welcome back. It's 5:45. In your morning consumer headlines, according to LendingTree, most people are not as smart about money as they think they are. LendingTree is the nation's largest online financial services marketplace, and a recent survey was used to gauge consumer knowledge of common money myths. According to LendingTree, 96% of Americans hold on to at least one false belief about finances. For example, 45% believe that carrying a credit card balance helps your credit score. And more than a quarter of those 40 and younger do not think they need to be saving for retirement. Also, more than 1/3 say they know more about money than their parents do.
Krispy Kreme giving new meaning sweet hearts with its newest collection. The chain has unveiled 4 new donuts to celebrate Valentine's Day. Heart-shaped donuts are filled with sugar cookie, strawberry, chocolate, and cake batter filling. A dozen comes in Krispy Kreme's new Dough Nuts box. The box, designed to look like a postmarked letter, even has a section to write messages. The new box is now available. Well, the pandemic didn't just send Costco members flocking to stores for toilet paper, canned goods, and disinfecting wipes in 2020.
As Max Massey shows us, it also saw them purchase significantly more vehicles through Costco's car buying program.
Even as car sales as a whole took a dive, Costco members bought more than 689,000 new and used vehicles through the Costco Auto Program last year, a 12% increase over 2019 sales, all according to Business Insider. Costco attributed that bump to an increase in the amount of limited time specials. Member exclusive deals with brands like Audi, Chevy, and Volvo it involved last year. Now, once you've chosen a vehicle and your preferred trim, features, and exterior color, Costco sends you the contact information for a participating dealership and a salesperson, at which point you can actually visit that dealership, find out the vehicle's discounted price, and decide if you'd like to buy it or lease it. The range of available vehicles extends from budget options that go from under $20,000 to luxury vehicles more than $100,000. A Costco representative told Business Insider in 2018 that Costco members saved on average more than $1,000 off of the average price of a vehicle when using their program. And members can also get an additional 15% on parts, service, and accessories at participating service centers. It's easy. From the Costco Auto Program webpage, you can browse, compare available vehicles, calculate monthly payments, and read reviews. You can also call the company's customer service line, have an employee walk you through the process over the phone. You can choose from a variety of classes, including sedans, sports cars, SUVs, trucks, and crossovers, then customize everything you want. You provide your contact info, you go to the participating dealership, you buy or lease with that discount. It's not final though, at least not for you. Once you review the discounted price, you can buy or lease the vehicle, but there is no obligation to do so. If you don't like the price or you change your mind, you have the option to trade in your current vehicle as well. Guys, back to you.
Didn't know they had a program.
I knew. So what it is there's a parking lot full of vehicles for sale right behind those 14-pound boxes of Pepperidge Farm fish crackers.
You just make your way through it.
It's right behind. So when you see the fish crackers, it's all those pallets. It's right behind. There's a bunch of cars back
All right. Got it, Mark. Thank you.
5:48. Let's check traffic right now with Samuel.
That's why the stores are so big.
Exactly.
We have room for those. We do have a crash downtown. This reported at 35 southbound at Laredo Street. And you can see a little bit of a slowdown there, 36 miles per hour if you're heading southbound. But the times still look pretty good on 35 coming from 410 into downtown, 10 minutes each way. But then you see coming toward the west there, get my directions correct, 10 minutes. It was 11 minutes a second ago. So it's still relatively early. If this were happening, let's say around 6:30 or 7, it would be much more of a backup. And here's a look at TransGuide. You can see 35 at Cesar Chavez. You can see not really too bad of a delay, but there is traffic out there, guys. So if you need to head out, if you're going to the downtown area, now might be a good time to leave.
Who misses the samples at Costco?
What's that?
The food samples. At Costco.
So they were gone for a while. I think they're back now.
Are they?
Yeah. I think,
really?
I think they are.
Oh, we were there right before Christmas doing some shopping, and they didn't have anything.
Yeah, I think I could be wrong, but I think they returned. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you could get dinner.
I'll go
there.
check it out. I need paper towels.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could get dinner there and just do you?
I do.
Buy about 5 dozen. All right.
And a car.
Yes.
Good point. Beautiful view of the sunset with the Tower of the Americas. Oh, that's so pretty out there. Thank you for the KSAT Connect picture. Different vantage point. Tower of the Americas and the Alamo Dome and the skyline. And you can see we don't have much going on out there right now. There are a couple of clouds, but mostly clear skies. Yesterday, we did get up to 68 degrees, a couple of 70s on the map, and pretty much same thing today, maybe a little bit warmer, especially down to the southwest. We'll be in the mid-upper 60s, some low 70s around here, still a few degrees above normal. Then we will continue to warm up tomorrow as well as on Thursday. Then things are going to be changing. So we'll also see the humidity start to come up as we go into the next couple of days. So it's not going to be as cool tomorrow morning, won't be as cool still on Thursday morning. As a matter of fact, it's going to be kind of mild in the mid 50s. Then we have a front moving on through here, so that'll pull in some drier air, cool us back down for Friday. Saturday tries to rebound a little bit. Then another front moves on through here on Sunday. This one's going to have a little more punch to it as far as temperatures. All right, around the country right now, as you can see, we've got that huge storm system dumping all that snow off to the east of us, and just a couple of clouds kind of hanging around here, and ridiculously cold temperatures and wind chills down in the low teens and even single digits up there around Caribou, Maine. So there's the really cold stuff, but this is the dividing line. We're just keeping that away from us, and we don't see, remember, a month ago or so, we had a really good cold snap, and all these upper level wind lines were just coming straight down from Canada. We get little chunks of it coming in here, little samples of it, I guess you could say, kind of like the food over there at Costco, but we're not getting a full meal, if you will, to use the food analogy still, and that's going to be the case going into the weekend. It will get cooler, but not brutally cold. 61 degrees today at noon, mostly sunny skies, a couple of clouds here and there, and then a high temperature up to 67, so we will be a few degrees above normal. Tomorrow we get up into the mid 70s, not as cold in the morning. And then I did it again, double punched here. Anyway, we'll be up to 80 on Thursday. This is such a pretty picture. We'll just take advantage of this. Yes. And then a front's going to move through 65 Friday, and then upper 50s only on Sunday.
What are you hiding? What are you hiding in your 7-day forecast that you don't want us to see by continually repeating this picture?
I get nervous when I come over close to you. So.
Oh,
I understand. I understand. But you said the 7 days looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, no rain.
Okay. Well, maybe that's what he's hiding, Mark.
Yeah.
That's okay, Mike.
The truth will come out. Thank you, Mike Osterhage. 552, 43 degrees.
And coming up next, Zendaya and John David Washington star in one of the first films completed after the pandemic began. We're going to have a preview next.
Here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 106, Fireball 8. Daily 4 numbers, 8441, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 2, 20, 24, 29, 32. And your Texas two-step, 12, 17, 20, 25. Bonus ball 30.
I feel like once you know someone is there for you and once you know they love you, you never actually think of them again. It's until you're about to lose someone that you finally pay attention.
Zendaya and John David Washington are the only actors in the Netflix drama Malcolm and Marie. You are by far the most excruciating, difficult, stubbornly obnoxious woman I've ever met in my entire life.
The movie was conceived, written, and filmed after the pandemic lockdown began, coming about after production on Zendaya and director Sam Levinson's Euphoria series shut down.
We kind of had these thoughts about what would there be a way to possibly shoot a film in quarantine. We can do it in my house, or what does that look like? And he had a few ideas and, we bounced some things back and forth. He finally had this one kind of concept and he kind of laid it out. I was immediately like, yes, write this, go, approved.
I'm not looking for an apology, Malcolm.
Well, what do you want, a screenplay credit?
John David Washington looked close by for inspiration to portray a Hollywood director.
I've taken all these experiences from my coworkers, from my partners, and their experience in the business and their relationship and love for the industry. And I'm thinking about my parents. I'm thinking about, my siblings who are all in the industry. I love the way you see the world, Marie.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Every 2 seconds, someone in the U.S. needs blood. To help fill the need, our KSAT community partner, University Health, is hosting a blood drive this month. It's happening February 18th and 19th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Woody Museum over on Broadway. If you want to participate, you'll need to make an appointment. You can do so by calling 210-358-2812 or visit donatebloodtoday.com. We have all this information on ksatcommunity.com. Tuesday morning, it is Groundhog Day again. That means we will get one mammal's prediction if spring will come early. In our next half hour of GMSA, we'll learn a little bit more about the history of this odd American holiday. And TransGuide, traffic has been building all hour. We'll get an update at the top of the hour with our traffic authority, Mr. Samuel King.
The San Antonio Fire Department has an urgent message to the community. Stop calling 911 to make COVID-19 vaccination appointments. Good morning, I'm Sarah Acosta. More on this message in just a bit.
Northeast ISD here in San Antonio pushing for a review of policies after an increase in student suicides. Counselors say they're having a hard time communicating with parents and guardians on effective ways to educate and intervene.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we are at 43 degrees. It is cold outside, but we are looking forward to a little bit of a warm up.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, February 2nd.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Groundhog Day. We're looking forward to that a little later in the newscast. But for now, I guess we'll check in with Mike. Hi, Mike.
The other forecasting mammal.
Yes.
I knew you were thinking it, so.
I was not thinking. I was thinking that we're about 25 minutes away from hopefully glancing in to see what's going on there in Gobbler's Knob.
Okay.
See what's going to go on.
Be waiting with bated breath. So, and it's a beautiful start this morning. Got a couple of clouds out there. Yep, grab a jacket before you head out the door. It is fairly chilly. We are at 40 right now and got some freezing readings now. Burning stage, comfort, all dropped down a few more degrees in the past hour or so. 38, a couple of 38s there, Randolph, as well as in New Braunfels. And then we're going to see a big warm up throughout the day. By the way, mountain cedars, moderate molds are on the low side. So we may still drop down a couple of more notches in the next few hours, and my little nifty graphics not working, but we will make it up into the mid-upper 60s later on today. And then that warm-up trend continues on going into the next couple of days. Tomorrow's going to be even warmer, up into the 70s. We're going to be topping off at 80 by Thursday. After that, another front moves on through here, sort of a reality check, and that's the first of a couple of fronts that's going to be coming through over the course of the weekend. More on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Hitting the roads right now, Traffic Authority, Samuel King, and, well, this looks pretty good. Oh, no,
yeah,
not that traffic.
No, it's like the lights there are kind of blinding you there, Mike, with the front lights there coming down southbound on 35. We have a crash reported to be more precise at Alamo. And now you can see some red here on the map, so we don't want to see that. And you can see that the backup starting to build all the way back through downtown. So if you are needing to use 35 to head to the downtown area, you might want to find another place to look at this moment. And we'll check on that for you coming up. Here's a look at some travel times. Move out the way so you can see more of them. 26 minutes coming into downtown from New Braunfels, so that's good, and 16 minutes on 35 from Lytle. That's also good, 24 minutes on I-10 from Bernie. So again, that situation downtown, watch out for that, and we'll have more coming up in a little bit. Mark, Stephanie, over to you.
Thank you, Samuel. New this morning, San Antonio Fire Department had major troubles trying to put out a house fire earlier. This all happened in the 700 block of West Harlan around 1:30. That's near I-35 at West South Cross. So firefighters say the flames were underneath the house along an outside wall and in the attic. When they got there, they went to tap into a fire hydrant, and firefighters say it was dead, wasn't working. When they found a working hydrant, they say the line they hooked up to it had a hole in it. After replacing the line, firefighters say they were able to put out the flames. The department says a family of 6 will stay with family while the investigation into that fire is underway.
Arson investigators are also trying to figure out what caused a fire on the northeast side. That fire broke out in the 4800 block of Parmenter Street around 10:30 last night. That is near Nacogdoches and Bell Drive. Firefighters say a bedroom in a house there was on fire. They say they were able to put it out quickly and nobody was injured.
San Antonio police investigating a shooting on the northeast side. They say they are looking for a man who could be involved in a shooting. This happened around 12:35 in the 4500 block of Schertz Road. That's near Wurzbach Parkway in Thousand Oaks. Police say a teen was taken to University Hospital with a gunshot wound to the knee.
One of our local school districts and an area hospital reporting an increase in suicides in young people. Northeast ISD reporting that they've had 7 students who died by suicide to date in the school year. That's up from 3 total in the previous 2 school years. District officials say counselors are having a difficult time reaching out to guardians or parents to get answers on how to help students.
I think people are, a little fatigued on COVID and all the negatives that it's impacted, but taking care of your children has got to always be number one, no matter what. And let the schools help you. We have lots and lots of resources to help families.
Baptist Health System has seen an increase of 12% from 2018 to 2020 in the number of attempted suicide cases in children under the age of 18. Baptist Health officials say those minors get a mental health evaluation and that a plan is put in place for them. Parents who need help are urged to call their school district or the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255 for help.
To the pandemic, latest this morning, local health officials reporting 2,376 new cases of COVID in Bexar County. 9 more people have died. Mayor Ron Nierenberg says the 7-day moving average is now 1,447 cases a day. He also says the positivity rate declined for a 3rd straight week. It's now at 11.4%. However, the mayor is urging everyone to continue social distancing and wear those masks. He says now's the worst time to sit back and relax.
If you are scheduled to receive your 2nd dose of a COVID-19 vaccine at the Alamo Dome today, tomorrow, or Thursday, your appointment is being rescheduled. Bexar County health officials say a shipment of vaccines from the state has been delayed. Today's appointments are rescheduled for February 16th. Tomorrow's are rescheduled for the 17th and Thursdays for the 18th. If you had an appointment that is being rescheduled, health officials say they have sent you an email and they have called you with more detailed information. CDC guidelines say the 2nd dose needs to be administered within 6 weeks of the 1st dose.
San Antonio Fire Department has an urgent message to the community. Please stop calling 911 to schedule an appointment for a COVID-19 vaccine. Our Sarah Costa is live downtown with more on that fire department message. Sarah.
Good morning, Mark. Yes, the San Antonio Fire Department says they actually have received several calls to 911 of people trying to make those appointments to schedule a COVID-19 vaccine. So much so they are trying to get this message out to the community. The San Antonio Fire Department posting this message to its Facebook page last night saying, quote, "In our effort to provide the COVID-19 vaccine to the most at-risk patients, we ask that you please do not call 911 in order to try and schedule a vaccine appointment. The at-home vaccinations for our homebound population that was mentioned in Monday night's daily briefing with Mayor Ron Nierenberg and Judge Wolf are pre-scheduled based off of a list provided by strategic local partners. It cannot be scheduled by calling, emailing, or online. Current vaccine appointments scheduled for the Alamo Dome may not be rescheduled as at-home appointments." And of course, I know there's a lot of information coming in about the vaccines. KSAT.com has done a great job laying it all out, so you can find all of that information of how to schedule your COVID-19 vaccine appointments right now online. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you, Sarah. A new study suggests people who've recovered from COVID-19 might only need one COVID-19 vaccine dose. The study looked at 109 people, 41 of whom have been infected. Researchers found the participants who had the virus might have as many antibodies after one vaccine dose compared to others who have had both shots. However, the study is not peer-reviewed and does not prove varying levels of protection. Until then, the CDC says people should get fully vaccinated even if they've had COVID-19.
During Governor Greg Abbott's State of the State address last night, he talked about accelerating the vaccine process. Governor Abbott praised frontline workers and medical centers for their role in keeping Texans healthy. The governor also acknowledged the challenges the pandemic created in Texas, but he says millions of vaccines have already been administered.
That number will increase even faster in the coming weeks as additional vaccines are approved. We will continue expanding vaccinations across Texas until every Texan who wants one will be able to get one.
Governor Abbott says he also wants to permanently expand telemedicine, and he says he also wants all Texans to have better access to health care.
Tuesday morning, 6:09, 43 degrees.
It was a rough night for our San Antonio Spurs. We're going to hear the only thing Coach Pop had to say after a blowout loss to the Grizzlies.
Every year, this time, focus turns to that small little hamlet in Pennsylvania and a very popular mammal. After the break, we'll learn about the history of Groundhog Day.
How cute. And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we are starting cold at 43 degrees, but we're looking forward to a little bit of a warm up. We'll be checking with Mike later this morning.
(6:13) Groundhog Day, the tradition that supposedly determines how much longer winter will last, is today.
But why the groundhog and how did this quirky tradition begin? Our Sarah Costa explains the history behind Groundhog Day.
When we think of Groundhog Day, we may immediately think of the movie where Bill Murray repeats the same day over and over again, but there is much more history behind the tradition. Groundhog Day actually has its roots in an ancient Christian tradition where clergy would bless and distribute candles needed for winter. According to History.com, the candles represented how long and cold the winter would be. But where did the groundhog come from? Germans expanded on this concept by selecting an animal, then the hedgehog, as a means of predicting weather. Once they came to America, German settlers in Pennsylvania continued the tradition, although they switched from hedgehogs to groundhogs, which were plentiful in the Keystone State. According to History.com, the first recorded Groundhog Day was celebrated in Gobbler's Knob in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. In February, male groundhogs emerge from the burrows to actually look for a mate, not to predict the weather, before going underground again. They come out of hibernation for good in March. Back to you guys.
Well, if you're hoping the second game between the Spurs and Grizzlies would go better than the first one, you can go back to sleep now. The Spurs were blown out on their home court last night. Looked as if the Spurs would put up a fight at first, jumping out early and keeping the game close in the first quarter, but then the Grizzlies ran away with it in the second, taking a 16-point lead into the half. Memphis never looked back. They beat our Spurs. It was a whooping, 133-102. The Spurs' Keldon Johnson had a game-high 25 points, but 9 players with the Grizzlies scored in double digits. And after the game, Coach Pop made only one comment.
They kicked our butts, and we did not play the basketball we've been playing for whatever reason. So we'll stick together. We'll go back to work. But those were 2 very tough losses by a team that really executed well, and I give them full credit.
Okay, Pop's like, who's next? Yeah, I'm out. Spurs will stay in town for the next game. They host the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7:30. You can watch it Fox Sports Southwest or catch highlights or low lights, depending on the outcome, on GMSA Thursday morning. Pop actually said more than I thought he was going to say.
He did.
I thought he was going to say, we played poorly tonight. Get up, walk away.
Right. No, he gave him some credit, for getting out there. So We appreciate that, Pop.
Thank you, Pop.
Go Spurs, go.
Happy belated birthday yet again. 6:16, let's check
right.
traffic.
Well, I did watch some of that game, but then, as you mentioned, Mark, it did pull away. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Situation looks to be improving a little bit on 35 downtown. Let's take a closer look here. We had this crash at 35 in Alamo Street, but you can see the traffic starting to improve there as we speak. And here's a look at the camera at 35. It's either Chavez. When we joined you at the top of the hour, you could see southbound traffic was backed up, but now it's flowing pretty smoothly. Northbound traffic building a little bit, but again, everything is flowing pretty well. Let's take it out here to the northwest side, Bandera Road. 11 minutes between 410 and 1604, 9 minutes between 1604 and 410. So now is a good time to leave again. If you need to head out or get ready for something, pick up coffee, this is a good time to do that, guys.
Good advice.
Mike joins us now. See if he's kissed and made up with the remote control that handles his weather computer.
How's it going, Mike?
Well,
We're about to
let's
find
see. 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
It's a good
You
day.
might want to warm up the car a little bit because temperatures, we do have some freezing readings in parts of the hill country this morning, and we're going to drop down a couple of degrees here in town. The nice big warm up will gain on average about 30 degrees throughout the course of the day. Mostly sunny skies, a couple of clouds here and there. Take a look at this picture. This is just so nice, so relaxing looking. This is over there right around Seguin, Lake Placid. As the name implies, a couple of clouds in the background. Looks like a picture postcard. A few ripples on the water. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. Nice view of downtown right now. We do have a couple of clouds out there, but like I said, we've got mostly clear skies. There is a little bit of moisture aloft in the atmosphere. We're not seeing that dark shade of gray, which would indicate some really dry air upstairs in the atmosphere. So therefore, we're going to have a couple of clouds hanging around here today, just one or two of them. And as far as the next few days, well, there's not going to be too awfully much going on. We'll have some morning cloudiness and then a lot of sunshine in the afternoon with a few clouds thrown in. We'll see the same thing on Thursday. Notice how as this kind of looped on through, everything was kind of coming in here out of the southwest. And watch as I move this on through, the clouds are going to be kind of coming out of the northwest. There's the front, which is going to move on through. It doesn't really do anything as it moves through. Yes, it will shift the wind around. It will pull in slightly cooler air, just knock us back down to normal after hitting right around 80 on Thursday. But as far as any rain, I mean, anything is way up there to the northeast. So we do not have a drop of rain, unfortunately, in the forecast all the way going into the first part of next week. And even long range, it looks like a good chunk of next week, perhaps by Valentine's weekend. But again, that's still way off. So temperatures, wind chills, single digits, teens up around the Great Lakes. It is just ridiculously cold up there. And again, we've got this dividing line right there, right around where that green stripe would be kind of the dividing line between the really cold stuff and the not so cold. And notice how most all of it stays up there to the north. We get little tastes of it kind of coming on through here. One front moves through Thursday night. And then the next one's going to come through late Saturday into Sunday. That might have a little extra oomph to it. That'll knock us down into the upper 50s for a high temperature on Sunday. But that's about it. We're not seeing any just blasts of Arctic air coming down here. 61 degrees today, mostly sunny skies at noon, high temperature up to 67. And again, a lot of sunshine, a couple of clouds here and there. Now, tomorrow, we're going to start to warm up. We get up to 73 degrees, not as cold in the morning. Same thing still on Thursday, 55 getting up to 80. Then the front comes through. It's going to be breezy on Friday, 65. We try to rebound a little bit on Saturday, and then we're going to be seeing another front come through and put us down to 58 on Sunday.
It'll put us in check. Hey, it's winter again.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you for the 7-day forecast.
You're welcome, sir.
It's good to see it.
Mark.
What?
What? Glad you enjoyed it.
I did. 620, 43 degrees.
And the Super Bowl staple will look different this year. In today's GMA First Look, we're going to see how the pandemic is changing the commercials for the big game.
Stephanie.
Mark.
Here's your secret word of the day. Enter it on KSAT.com/Circle K for a monthly chance to win free gas for a year. Every entry wins a medium coffee. Win with Circle K and GMSA.
At Philadelphia, we know what makes the perfect smear of cream cheese. You need only the freshest milk and cream. That one. And the world's best, and possibly only, Chamelier. Philadelphia, schmear perfection.
Did you know diarrhea is often caused by bad bacteria in food? Try Pepto Diarrhea. Its concentrated formula coats and kills bacteria to relieve diarrhea. See, Pepto Diarrhea gets to the source, killing the bad bacteria. So make sure to have Pepto Diarrhea on hand.
I tried a new laxative that's both gentle and fast.
New great tasting Dalcolac soft chews works naturally with the water in your body in as little as 30 minutes. Puts you comfortably in control. New Dalcolac soft chews.
In this morning's GMA First Look, going inside the playbook for this year's Super Bowl ads.
Pour salsa, pour queso, get the Lay's and the Cheetos.
This year, brands are shelling out about $5.5 million for 30 seconds of ad space. And stepping into the fold are newer companies that have seen their revenues skyrocket during the pandemic.
We'll see you on the big bowl.
The gigantic bowl.
Totally legal.
Yeah, completely legal.
All right, good teaser.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
GMA catching up with advertising expert Gary Vee.
You just get a stunning amount of America paying attention. So for these newbies that are entering the game for the first time, I think it's great strategy.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll premiere a brand new Super Bowl ad from Doritos and reveal exclusive new details about the weekend's highly anticipated halftime show. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
And let's go out to a live look at Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania to see if Phil, the groundhog, will see his shadow. I'm told he just woke up right now.
Let's listen in.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now, this second day of February, 2021, the 135th annual trek of Punxsutawney Groundhog Club. Punxsutawney Phil, the seer of seers, the prognosticator of all prognosticators, was awakened from his burrow at 7:25 a.m. by his handler and friend on this quiet morning where few can attend. In Groundhog He's, Phil directed the president and the inner circle to his prediction scroll that reads, "It's a beautiful morning, this I can see, with all my fans viewing virtually, my faithful followers being safe and secure. Our tradition of Groundhog Day must endure. We have all passed through the darkness of night, but now see hope in morning's bright light. But now, when I turn to see, there's a perfect shadow cast of me. 6 more weeks of winter there will be."
They're cheering? I mean, it's still snowing and they're cheering. But look how proud he looks.
I know, Phil looks very proud.
Punxsutawney Phil has made his prediction. It's 6 more weeks.
Oh, that's hilarious. It's like, they're like, is this what you meant? And he looked at the scroll and looked back at her and he's like,
that's what I
have
predict.
certified the results. All right, 6 more weeks of winter, folks. The rumors were wrong.
Did you see how excited he got when it was announced?
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
That's a pretty proud groundhog.
Good
and
job,
we timed
Phil.
it just right. Thank you to our producers and crews for timing that
Yes,
perfectly.
Thank you, Jared. Time now is 6:27 and 43 degrees for now here.
President Joe Biden, a group of Republican lawmakers are trying to find bipartisan solution on a COVID-19 relief bill. We'll get an update on their progress.
6 people in California were arrested after they say they wanted to create awareness for breast cancer. See how it involves the famous Hollywood sign in our next half hour.
There's been another delay in shipments of the COVID-19 vaccine to San Antonio. Good morning, I'm Sarah Acosta. In just a bit, what this means for those who have scheduled appointments this week.
San Antonio police say he made a quick stop in a convenience store for all the wrong reasons. Now, Crime Stoppers hope to make a quick arrest I'm Katrina Weber. I'll have that story.
A bipartisan meeting in the Oval Office to discuss COVID relief. I'm ABC's Faith Abube in Washington with details of the meeting between GOP lawmakers and President Biden coming up.
I'm outside with live cam. Little hint of a sunrise there. It's starting to come up a little bit earlier each and every day. Looks like it's going to be gorgeous.
Hi, good morning. It is Tuesday, February 2nd, and it is Groundhog Day.
Yes, and if you just now are joining us, we just got the news from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Yep, and he says we have more winter ahead, and he seemed very excited about it.
Yes, he was very proud. Punxsutawney Phil this morning. Mike Osterich is here. And do you agree with that forecast?
Well, it's funny. I was just looking at from the Climate Prediction Center from the Weather Service, and they said above normal precipitation in the northeastern, say, quadrant of the United States, and below normal temperatures.
So Phil got it right.
Yeah, it looks like it. So, and that's for the next 30 days at least. For us, we're going to be kind of having a little taste of spring here for the next couple of days. Temperatures right now, though, are very wintry. 32 Bernie, Stage, Bulverde, Tarpley, Kerrville, Comfort. We're at 40. We may drop down another couple of notches here and there. The Mountain Cedars on the moderate side, molds are low. And throughout the rest of today, we've got the chilly start, sunny, getting into the mid to upper 60s, so a little bit above normal, but then we really start to warm up the next couple of days. We'll be up into the low to mid 70s tomorrow, right around 80 on Thursday. Then we get the first in a couple of fronts moving on through here, and that'll be Thursday night into Friday, knock us back down to where we should be, and then we get another secondary surge of some cooler air coming on in here by Sunday. But it still doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any big blasts of cold air, anything like that from the Arctic. A closer look at the weekend forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King, and it's been a fairly, well, as soon as I say this, I was going to say a fairly quiet morning. Yes. With one exception right now.
Well, this one just popped up. I believe this is at Probant there, Mike. So we'll take a closer look at that coming up. Go over there to the computer and see what's happening there. Meanwhile, other parts of the area looking fine this morning. This is I-10 from Bernie to downtown, 24 minutes in each direction. And once you get inside 1604 here, looking at 12 to 13 minutes. So fairly good traffic times there. Looking at across the region, 28 minutes now coming in from New Braunfels to downtown San Antonio, 29 minutes on I-10 east from Seguin, and in 24 minutes on I-10 west from Bernie. As we mentioned, 28 minutes from the Pleasanton area on 37. And here's a look at TransGuide. This is a 90 at 1604. Traffic building out there, but flowing well. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Samuel. Wasn't a typical convenience store robbery. San Antonio police say instead of demanding cash, suspect took off with a car. Catching him is now at the top of the to-do list for Crime Stoppers. Our Katrina Weber has that story live from Public Safety Headquarters this morning. Katrina, good morning to you. How did he manage to steal a car?
Well, good morning. Police say he asked and he received, but they say he did so with a gun. They're now looking for that man who they say was caught on surveillance cameras inside the Triple E corner store on New Laredo Highway. Police say he walked into that business on the afternoon of December 15th, showed a gun, then ordered a 57-year-old man to give him his car. They say the suspect took the keys and took off in that car. Crime Stoppers now trying to track him down. And they're asking anyone who might recognize the man in those photos to give them a call. The number is 210-224-STOP or 224-7867. And they say there could be a reward involved for the right information. Reporting live at Public Safety Headquarters, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Katrina, thank you for that live report. There has been another delay of shipments of the COVID-19 vaccine to San Antonio. Our Sarah Costa is live downtown with what this means for people who have appointments scheduled. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Stephanie. The good news is it won't impact everyone, just those who have appointments this week for their second dose for the COVID-19 vaccine at the Alamo Dome. Bexar County health officials announcing Monday that anyone scheduled to receive the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine at the Alamo Dome today through Thursday of this week will be rescheduled because of a shipment delay from the Texas State Health Department. All second dose vaccinations scheduled at the Alamo Dome will be rescheduled to the following dates at the same appointment time. So if you were scheduled on February 2nd, your appointment will be rescheduled for February 16th at the same time. February 3rd appointments will be rescheduled for February 17th, and February 4th appointments are rescheduled for February 18th. Again, at the same time, just on those dates. Those who are affected will receive further instructions through the email address or phone number that you provided with your registration. Now, second dose appointments at the Alamo Dome that are scheduled for Friday will not be impacted. I know this is so much information. Also, people are still looking for how to get vaccinated in San Antonio. Just head to KSAT.com and we have all that information laid out in an organized manner for you. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News. Mark and Stephanie.
Thank you very much. Well, President Joe Biden and Republican lawmakers emerged out of an Oval Office meeting last night with no deal on a COVID-19 relief package.
But this morning, talks are expected to continue on a bipartisan agreement that will help struggling American families through the pandemic. ABC's Faith Abube has more.
Good morning. Both sides emerged from that meeting yesterday, calling it substantive and productive, but neither side is willing to abandon their position just yet. A show of bipartisanship inside the Oval Office, but the only real agreement out of the nearly 2-hour meeting between President Biden and GOP lawmakers is to keep the conversation going on a COVID relief package.
We talked about differences, and I don't think he would intend to signal any changes on his part, nor would we.
Republicans and Democrats still far apart on a compromise after 10 GOP senators proposed a slimmed-down version of Biden's nearly $2 trillion aid package. The Republican plan, $600 billion.
We didn't pull $1.9 trillion out of the sky. What we did was go line by line and figure out how to meet the challenges that the public was facing.
But there is some common ground. Both sides calling for $160 billion for vaccines and testing and small businesses. This as health officials warn another coronavirus surge could be on the horizon. 35 states are now battling the more contagious variant. New data from the CDC found less than 8% of the U.S. population has been vaccinated.
Viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. And if you stop their replication by vaccinating widely, you will not get mutations.
And while talks continue on COVID relief, Democrats are signaling they are willing to move forward alone if they have to. They filed a joint budget resolution yesterday, kicking off a process that could pass Biden's plan without GOP support. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
In your morning headlines, Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick will lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda today. He died from injuries during last month's deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol building. Congress will hold a ceremonial arrival for 42-year-old Sicknick at 8:30 tonight. A viewing will take place overnight into tomorrow morning. Sicknick will then be buried in Arlington National Cemetery.
Pakistan's Supreme Court ordered the man acquitted in the 2002 beheading of American journalist Daniel Pearl off death row today. Ahmed Sheikh will be moved to a government safe house in the capital city of Islamabad. The Pakistan Supreme Court upheld his acquittal in the death of Pearl last Thursday. It triggered outrage by Pearl's family and the United States government.
Actor Hal Holbrook has died. He is perhaps best known for embodying Mark Twain in a one-man stage show. He also played Deep Throat in All the President's Men and was nominated for an Oscar for his role in Into the Wild. Holbrook was 95 years old.
The Tokyo Olympics will be held no matter the COVID situation, quote unquote. As word coming from the president of the Tokyo 2020 Organizing Committee, Yoshiro Mori. The news comes the same day Japan is expected to extend its state of emergency in Tokyo and 9 other regions due to the raging pandemic.
By the middle of this year, the U.S. economy could be back to its pre-pandemic levels. That's the latest prediction on gross domestic product numbers from the Congressional Budget Office. But the office also warns that getting the number of people employed back to pre-pandemic levels could take until 2024.
Fort Worth-based American Airlines warning its workers about the possibility of another round of furloughs. Federal aid to the airline industry runs out April 1st, and the airline says it has more people than it needs to meet the lower travel demand.
Online investors who are piling their money into the silver market have pushed silver prices to their biggest one-day gain in more than a decade. And it's not just people buying silver itself. Stock prices for silver mining companies have also been jumping, fueled by the same online postings that pushed up the price of GameStop.
Coronavirus pandemic still weighing on America's manufacturers. The Institute for Supply Management says manufacturing activity slowed in January with infections rising, causing labor shortages for manufacturers and their suppliers.
And 6 people in California were arrested for trespassing after temporarily altering the famous Hollywood sign. A white dash changed the D into a B, and a tarp with the letter B on it later covered W. So the 2 changes turned Hollywood into Holly Boob. The accused trespassers said it was for breast cancer awareness. All 6 were cited for a misdemeanor and released from police custody. Los Angeles police say there was no actual vandalism since the sign was not damaged. Park rangers quickly switched the sign back to read Hollywood.
Back here at home, 641, about 43 degrees.
In a single year, more than 2 million teens under the age of 18 are arrested in the U.S. After the break, how one program is giving young girls a second chance to rewrite their story.
I try to laugh through the day to mask the pain that I hide.
17-year-old Alina McCrary is using her writing to heal.
It's not the streets that introduced me to pain, it's the pain that brought me to the streets. Most of my poetry is about real life.
Things got very real for Alina a couple years ago after being taken to court as a runaway at 13. She was placed in juvenile detention at 15.
It was a bad decision made off of impulse.
Most young women have their first encounter with the juvenile justice system as a runaway. That is why Stacia Freeman founded Epic Girl.
We want the girls that are most likely to fall through the cracks, the ones a lot of times that society, the system, the world has given up on.
Epic Girl reaches about 300 girls a year and empowers them with education to recognize unhealthy situations that can affect their mindset by talking about boundaries, resolving conflicts effectively, self-esteem, and most importantly, relationships.
The number one thing that really drives change is consistent relationships.
Anything I ever needed, I knew I could count on them, and that is really what made me turn around. They taught me how to use my voice.
Now she is getting another chance to rewrite her story.
Epic Girl is an agency that believes in second and third and fourth chances.
So when you're stuck in a tough position like I'm in, let my words guide you through to the very end.
Data has found that girls who have entered the Epic Girl program are less likely to re-enter the court system. The program is completely free to the girls, but it costs about $450 per girl. Funding is covered with grants and private donations. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
647.
We know that Samuel was tracking an accident in the downtown area earlier. How is it looking out there now, Samuel?
Well, that accident on 35 has cleared, but we have a new crash here. This is on 35 at Schertz Parkway. You can see it's causing a bit of a delay. Looks like it's getting a little better there, 21 miles per hour. So if you're heading out from New Braunfels, let's say to 410, let's look at that travel time, 23 minutes now. So not too bad. And that's really the only delay there along that stretch of 35 to 410. Let's take a look here. This is a crash at Probant near 90 and 10 where they meet, but it looks like the traffic flow is getting a lot better on Probant, so that's something to watch out for. And 90 today, we have this construction again from West Military to Southwest 36th. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The travel time in from Pasterville still looks good. And here's 90 at 1604. Traffic building, but looking fine this morning.
Very good. And I can't cheat because normally I'll read the line of where that's from.
To play the video, had to change it around a little bit. But this is Turner Falls in Oklahoma. Somebody traveled up there.
Okay.
And I want to play this for you. Look at how gorgeous that is. And they did a really cool thing with putting that sort of in slow-mo there.
Very relaxing.
Oh, yeah. But
clear that water is, Mike.
That is just gorgeous.
Nice.
And that's this morning's moment of zen.
Anyway, thank you very much for the KSAT Connect video. And wow, speaking of zen and everything else, that's gorgeous with the sunrise this morning. A couple of clouds hanging around here. We'll have one or two of them throughout the course of the day, but plenty of sunshine, and temperatures are going to be warming up quite nicely. We'll gain about 30, in some cases almost 35 degrees. Now, as far as the humidity, very dry air, got mostly clear skies, light wind. That's why it has allowed temperatures to cool down. And we are going to start to see the flow come in here out of the southeast a little bit more. So these dew points start to go up as we go into tomorrow, and then especially tomorrow night and Thursday. And so With those higher dew points, that does not allow temperatures to get as cool in the morning. So we will stay about mid-40s tomorrow, mid-50s then on Thursday morning. Then we have a front that's going to be moving on through here. Here's a satellite picture. You can see in that shot from live cam there, a couple of those clouds off in the distance right there. But like I said, we'll just have one or two of those clouds out there. All right, as far as Punxsutawney Phil, yeah, he predicted 6 more weeks of winter, and boy, they're getting about 6 weeks worth as of right now up there. Basically from Virginia, Ohio, West Virginia, all the way up to the Northeast. And then on top of that, they got some ridiculously cold wind chill readings in the single digits and low teens throughout a good chunk of the Great Lakes and the northeastern part of the country. But all that stays up to the north again. The dividing line just is not coming down here. A few weeks back, when we had a really cold snap, all these upper level wind lines were coming straight down. But notice how they kind of stop and do a little bit of a curve just to avoid us. We get little chunks of some little tastes of this. So we warm up on Thursday, then then Friday, we cool back down to normal readings. Try to warm up a little bit Saturday, and then another little more potent chunk of cooler air comes on in here on Sunday. But still, the really, really cold stuff is going to be staying up there to the north of us. So the forecast today, we are going to be up to 61 degrees at noon, mostly sunny skies. Really, really nice day, and high temperature up to 67. So we will be about 3-4 degrees above normal. Add to that tomorrow, we make it up into the low to mid 70s. 80 on Thursday, and then 65 Friday. And behind that first front, low 70s Saturday, and then back down to the upper 50s on Sunday. So no jacket in the afternoon Saturday. You're going to keep one Sunday.
Very nice weather for everyone. I can't believe we're actually going to hit 80 right there, but then I guess things will cool down by Sunday.
Yes, close to, probably not, but close to a record on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
6 more weeks of winter, according to Phil.
Up north.
Right,
north.
not here in San Antonio.
Not here down south.
Yeah, for us that means, it'll be 60 instead of 65.
Shorts and flip-flops, everyone. 6:51, 43 degrees.
And coming up, Facebook is once again a major player in social media controversy. Tomorrow on GMSA, we will take a look at the company's oversight board and how it influences major decisions that the social media company makes.
Outside with live cam on your Tuesday morning. That's just absolutely gorgeous way to start out the workday. You're watching GMSA.
Coming up here on GMA, the day after, and still some snow showers in the Northeast and New England after that. 2 to even 3 feet of snow in parts of New Jersey, here well over a foot. And this just halted almost everything, including those all-important COVID vaccinations. We're going to have more on this storm and then new storms to come that could bring more snow and the coldest air of the season. All coming up right here on GMA.
That's coming up, but we still have a situation, a new situation. This is I-10 at Gevers, but looking pretty good there. Not too much of a slowdown. We still have a bit of a slowdown at 35 and Schertz Parkway, but that looks to be improving. So your travel times coming out of New Braunfels down to 29 minutes, so that's pretty good. And you have a little bit of a delay coming in from Belverde onto 81, Mike.
Beautiful start this morning. What a gorgeous, gorgeous sunrise. Temperatures, grab a coat. We got some freezing readings in parts of the hill country, and then we are going to see a high temperature today up to 67. It will definitely be warming up the next couple of days, close to 80 by Thursday, and then it'll cool back down.
I blinked and the morning show is over.
Yep. I know. It was that much fun. Thank you for joining us.
Fun.
Groundhog Day is not going to be that bad.
No, it won't. We'll see you back here at 9.